All right, we are going to head to our New York studio right now because, yes, Digital Trends has our studio here in Portland, but our New York studio is where we're going to be joining our editor-in-chief, Jeremy Kaplan, who is standing by right now with Scott Cohen, the National Trading Manager of Samsung. Hello, New York.
Greg, thank you very much for the introduction. A lovely introduction it was. And greetings to you, viewers, people at large watching us. I am here with Scott Cohen, a senior manager at Samsung, who does a lot of very weird and different things. But one thing that's significant about him is the man knows more than anyone alive about Samsung products. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Super excited to be here.
Is that fair? More than anyone else alive?
What's that?
I'm just hyping your knowledge.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate the hype, but you're somewhat accurate.
I tried.
Yeah.
And happy holidays to you. We're almost to the holiday season. Have you done your shopping yet?
I have done my shopping, as I told you right before. If Samsung.com doesn't sell it, chances are you're not getting it.
So if you know Scott, you know what you're getting this holiday season.
Yeah.
Any recommendations for the world at large about Samsung things that are good for good gifts?
Such a great question. You know, when it comes to holiday gift giving, you know, there's a lot of directions you can go, but Samsung's always a safe base. It's a safe bet. It's a brand everyone recognizes. It's an innovative brand that people, you know, want to own. And, you know, for TVs, it's an exciting time because, you know, TVs that were considered big screen just a few years ago, 50 and 55 inch, they make great gifts now because the prices really come down.
Yeah, it's really astonishing.
So it's super affordable. It's, you know, the 50 and 55 inch have much smaller bezels, so they actually fit, you know, in smaller spaces. So where you may have had a 40 or 46, you can now fit a 50 or 55. And Samsung still has aggressive holiday pricing going. So, you know, really a good time. However, you know, if you love this person a little bit more and you want to step up, Samsung QLED is really where it's at. You know, we get asked, what's QLED? It's simply Samsung's flagship TV model line. Q stands for quantum dot. Quantum dot's a technology that allows our TVs to be even more accurate with color, produce brighter colors, and also be able to produce a panel that works just as good in a bright sun-drenched room as it does in your man cave or dark basement. So really versatile TV, which is great for any environment. And then with QLED, you're also getting a lot of cool things. So QLED this year has a new super simple sign-in feature. You know, when you get a new TV, you want your Netflix, you want your Hulu, you want your Amazon, you want all these connected things. And the first thing you need to do is get your TV on your internet. And Samsung has now offered a way that the TV can pair up to your mobile device and then pull your home network information off your mobile device and share it to the TV. So getting your TV on the network is as easy as 1, 2, 3. We actually automatically program the Samsung remote to work with all your connected devices, whether it's cable box or satellite box, Blu-ray player, home theater. So really, once you plug it in, or whomever your loved one you buy a Samsung QLED TV for, you can be assured they'll get it hooked up without installation, get going really quick.
Yeah, I've seen that feature, and it's actually pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
And as the person who does all the tech support for everyone that I buy anything for, I like the ease of use there.
Yeah, so ease of setup is really important. And then the other thing is, you know, we're pushing to bigger and bigger TVs. As I said earlier, 50 and 55 were big. 65, 75 are starting to become standard. And it's a lot harder to hide these TVs in your room. Yeah. So if it's not your man cave, but it's the room that you do family room watching TV as well as entertaining, Samsung has a nifty way of hiding the TV in plain sight with a really cool feature called Ambient Mode, which is on QLED. And, you know, we have a brick wall behind us, and had we set up Ambient Mode on this TV, the TV would actually replicate the brick pattern and make the TV look transparent on the wall. So, you know, even if you're putting a 65 or 75 inch big black rectangle in the room, you can make it blend with the decor so it doesn't really stand out.
I've seen that in action, and it's kind of mind-blowing. And also, like, it's just such a simple idea, but works so well, and it's a great concept.
Yeah, it's been a big hit. Everyone's talking about it. People are coming into retail asking about it, making sure the product that they're asking for has that feature. So you could be assured all of our QLED TVs do have ambient mode. So whether you have wallpaper with a pattern or a solid wall, there'll be a way to get it to blend with just about any, but not all backgrounds out there. So really cool. And then if you really want to take the next step...
Well, wait, hang on. Before we get there, though.
Yeah.
So those are good when you have, as you said, a large panel fitting on a wall, and you're kind of going, what's this big, large thing? I wanted to ask you about screen sizes. Because, so I've got I think a 55-inch television at home, which is a good size for my TV, for my wall. And if you go shopping for a TV this holiday season, you're going to see that there are these 65, 75, these giant TVs. I would call that giant.
Yeah.
Just relative to the one that I'm used to. But that's becoming the convention. That's becoming the norm, right? People are buying those. It's not just that you're making them and trying to pass them off on people. That's what people are demanding.
Yeah, the people are demanding it. In fact, this year, Samsung actually had a 75-inch TV in every series we made. So 75-inch really for every price point, a 75-inch for every customer. Samsung started the year off with two 82-inch models, but that just wasn't enough, and our customers demanded we produce yet another model. So a third higher-end 82-inch had come online. And then as the year has been trailing off, we also launched an 85-inch this year.
So I'm off the curve, you're saying.
You're on the smaller side right now. If you want a more immersive, bigger experience, we definitely have the products for you.
I am ashamed, and my neighbors have better TVs than I do.
But the numbers that we're seeing on the sales side do indicate 65, 75 are the new sweet spot. Lots of interest in 82. So the customers are asking for bigger and bigger screens.
So when you get a screen that big, I mean, you have to start talking about 8K, right?
Yeah, so Samsung did launch 8K into the market this year. With
first major television manufacturer to do so.
First major television manufacturer to do so at 85-inch. And, a lot of people do ask, why now? Is this the correct time for it? And,
legitimate question.
It's absolutely a legitimate question. We're seeing now a ton of 4K in the ecosystem from many of the streaming partners, some sports in 4K. And now here's Samsung moving on to 8K. And there is a reason for it. There is a relationship between the resolution and the size of the screen. So, back 15 years ago when we were all watching tube TVs and 32 and 36 were big, everything was fine. The resolution story started when we moved up to flat panel 43, 50-inch and bigger. We needed to move to high definition. And when we moved to high definition, all anyone can talk about was the clarity. Because as you blow the picture up, you need more information on the screen. When we moved from 55 up to 65, 75, we moved into UHD, ultra high definition, otherwise known as 4K. And people talked about seeing the detail. And now we're moving up into 82 and bigger. And the bigger the screen, the more information you need to put there. And 8K is talking about resolution, the number of pixels. We're moving up to 33 million pixels so that at the large size, you can still see the same clarity that you enjoy on your 55-inch. So the resolution is related to going bigger. The bigger you go, the higher the resolution. And there's another interesting fact here, which is the customers that are all going bigger and bigger are not moving their couches further and further back. They're not knocking down living room walls and doing renovations on their house to fit their 82-inch TVs, which means they're sitting closer and closer to the bigger pixels. So by upping the pixel number, Samsung's going to be able to deliver a TV that you don't just see the details, but you see the details in the details on these big screens and really make it one step closer to a window to the outside world.
So do you? Here's the thing. It feels like the 4K ecosystem is finally being established. Like you said, the content is finally there, not just from the streaming providers, but other sources as well. If you buy one of those 8K TVs, do you need to sit around and hunt down the one or two videos of butterflies flapping their wings that we can find in 8K these days?
That's a great question.
Is 4K going to be good enough on an 8K set?
So first, it's what comes first, the chicken or the egg. So if there's no panels or 8K TVs out in the world, movie makers and TV makers won't make the content for them. So someone's got to take that first step. We do see YouTube has some 8K content. We know some films, blockbuster films, videos were filmed in 8K, but for the ecosystem that currently does exist, Samsung is offering something called AI upscaling. So we're using artificial intelligence to help upscale 4K or even 1080p content so it looks just as pristine as an 8K source would on our TV. So, now that we have a computer, a master computer coming up with all these new algorithms looking at low resolution, high resolution images and figuring out the best way to do it, I think now if you're going big screen is the absolute right time to get into 8K because you're really going to appreciate the advantages of all the resolutions that are currently available. And as 8K stuff starts coming down the pipe, you'll be able to really enjoy it. And I know there's also talk of the next Olympics coming out, being filmed and recorded in 8K. And if you really want to see the details in the details, 8K is what you're going to need.
Especially on an 88-inch television.
Right, 82, 88, 85. So, we're talking these bigger TVs, 75-inch and up, which are, we consider super big, but which is becoming the super norm.
Let me switch topics for a second, if I could.
Sure.
Such a breadth of products that Samsung makes, of course. Soundbars are an interesting topic here. Samsung soundbars for a long time weren't necessarily the best in the market, but we have become really big fans of some of the newest generation, the Dolby Atmos powered soundbars. What's been going on behind the scenes? What did it take to take a product line that was okay, reasonable, and make it something great?
So there were a few steps that needed to be taken. First, Samsung invested heavily in an audio lab in California. So we now have an audio lab with engineers right here in the American market really building a product that's made for the American home, which does ship worldwide, but we're really working out of that lab. Second, we also recently acquired Harman International, which brought us closer to a lot of high-end engineers from the Harman Group, which consists of many high-end brands. So with them tinkering and tweaking the sound bars, the sound has gotten significantly better. And that's, you know, there's some real science stuff going on there with new materials for woofers, new crossovers, new everything, and then the help of having Dolby Atmos, an actual new codec that gives us, you know, object-based location, so you can have this overhead sound. So between the lab, the new engineers, new materials being used, and then this new Dolby Atmos codec that we get to work with, we've really lit up the soundbar market. In addition to our Dolby Atmos soundbars, we're also using some other height channel array technology in our speakers to really fill the whole room. So Samsung has got great success due to all of these things working together, and to make sure that our consumers get it, Samsung has offered an everyday bundle where if you do purchase one of our TVs, you can get up to $200 off of one of these Atmos soundbars, really allowing a lot of our customers to take advantage and bring it to the home.
So this holiday, when you buy me that new TV,
it's
on Samsung.com, I'm going to get the new soundbar too.
That's right. No, you know, and there's a lot of customers.
Heard it. He said, I'm getting it.
So we'll make sure marketing takes care of that for you. But, you know, we have a lot of customers that, you know, sound really is 50% of the experience. You know, there's times where, you know, I travel a lot, I'm on the plane and I see an adventure action movie, and I'm like, I'm not going to watch it here on the plane. I need to get it in home theater. Not just do I want explosions on a 80+ inch screen, but I also want the sound to be all around me. So I don't want to sacrifice just to watch the movie, just to see it. I want to experience it, and Samsung soundbar with Samsung big screen TV is really what brings you right into the action.
Scott, we're almost out of time here. I just got to ask you one quick question. CES is just around the corner.
Yeah.
My favorite time of the year, and also the worst time of the year. Like, it's just so much to cover and so much to see. If there's one thing we should see from Samsung, is there like some big thing? Well, you probably can't even tease us about it, but is there something you can talk about?
Well, I can tell you that we have a 25,000 square foot booth in the center of it all. And at that booth, we're going to be showing off a lot of exciting things, from some of our emerging technologies to some of the existing technologies and the evolution of those technologies. Samsung is a powerhouse in electronics. We move everything from mobile to wearables to TVs. And we're getting our hands involved in lots of other exciting things that will be shown at CES. So, you know, I don't think there's one single product I would single out to say this is what you should be excited about. I think you should come be excited about the whole experience that Samsung offers at our booth.
You heard it here first, 16K. He just said it.
8K. coming to your home.
Scott, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It was,
Greg, I'm going to throw it back to you, back over in Portland.
Thanks,
Tell us
Jeremy.
what else is going on today.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, Scott.